Welcome back to Okima Grows, where I'm growing peace one seed at a time. Organic liquid fertilizer is expensive, just like everything else these days. But what if I told you that you can use your everyday scraps that you were going to toss into the trash can anyway to create a nutrient boost for your raised beds? So no fancy equipment needed, no extra costs, just the items you're gonna throw away, 5-gallon bucket and some water. The more variety you use, the richer your nutrient profile becomes. So that's your banana peels, which is gonna add potassium. Your coffee grounds are gonna add nitrogen. Eggshells are gonna add calcium. And together that's going to create a very balanced homemade fertilizer on top of all of these other scraps that I have in this bin. To scale this up for a full garden, you can use as many 5-gallon buckets that you need. It can be 1 bucket, it can be 10 buckets. So first you want to fill your bucket halfway with scraps. And then we're gonna add water after. All right, so this is going to be the base for your liquid fertilizer. Look at this. I don't believe I did that. Now it's harder to get out because it's wet. That's why I usually let it dry. Makes it easier. Now it's time to add the secret sauce. You want to add a scoop of worm casting or compost to your tea. So I'm going to attempt, you see my wigglers? I'm going to attempt to get some of the material out because it's not fully decomposed. Matter of fact, I'm going to use the other one. Go back down. Yeah, I'm going to get some from the other one. Let's see. I'm going to try to get some without getting any worms. Because your worms are not going to live in that water anyway. They don't know how to swim. At least not for long. I should have gotten 2 gloves. So I'm going to just get like a scoop and try to get all the worms out and put them back. Woo! Oops. And they're hiding, of course. don't think this one is that active. This one might not have as many worms as the other one. Alright, I think this is it. That's a good scoop size, right? Sure I'm not bringing any worms with me. So after you add your secret sauce, which is either a scoop of compost or worm casting, that is pretty much going to jumpstart the microbial process, which is going to break everything down and release all the nutrients. Oh, I see a worm at the last moment. And release all the nutrients into the water. Oh, I'm going to put you in here. Maybe you can find your way in the dirt somewhere. Oops. I tried my best to make sure I didn't put any in there. All right. No, I am not playing in crap. So you want to let this steep for 24 to 48 hours or longer, of course. And then after it has set for 24 to 48 hours, you're going to strain the liquid into your watering can, if you have one, or strain the liquid into another 5-gallon bucket. And it should look like, it should have a tea color to it, pretty much. All right, so you want to make sure that you cover it because you don't want to have any uninvited pests come in snooping around when it's sitting there for 24 hours, 48 hours, or however long you decide to let it steep.
Remember these plants I got from Tractor Supply a few weeks ago? Well, look at them now.
So I've been using it on my tomato plants that I got from Tractor Supply, as well as other areas in my garden. Since I've transplanted all of my seedlings out, I have been using it in the garden. Okay, so this bucket of liquid gold has been steeping for 48 hours. So I'm gonna get as much of the big particles out. I'm gonna strain it, and then I'm gonna use the tea to water my plants. And after I strain it, I'm not gonna throw it away. I can use this maybe 2 more times. So that's what I plan to do. I'm gonna use the same ingredients and steep it again. And the liquid that's left in here, I am gonna dilute it with water. I usually need about 2 5-gallon buckets for my 4 garden beds, and my garden beds are 4 by 4. I think I got the bulk of it out. gonna have some things that sink to the bottom. Depends on how long you have it steeping for. You will have some particles or some pieces of food that's gonna eventually sink to the bottom. But just try to get as much out as you can, because the more big stuff you have in there, then it's gonna clog up your watering can. So you want to try to get as much out as you can. It's taking a little long. Oh, right there. All right. And of course the coffee grinds are clogging up my strainer. There we go. Trying to make sure I don't see any other large pieces. All right, so this is what it looks like. And of course, if you steep it longer than 48 hours, it's gonna get a little deeper. If it gets too dark, the transparency of it, if it gets too dark, then just add some more water to it. And I'm gonna go ahead and water my plants. So that's it. Free fertilizer from scratch you already have. And now your garden will have the nutrients it needs to thrive.
Tell me in the comments, what kitchen scrap do you always have the most of? And stick around, because in my next video, I'll show you how these plants look after a month of feeding them this liquid gold. Thanks for watching, and continue to grow peace one seed at a time.